Hello everyone, welcome back to another week. I am back in the overalls. Oh yeah, because we're moving on to the next stage, the next phase of this renovation. So today we're going to be, it was Tuesday by the way, just as an FYI, we're going to be painting the stairs, not the actual stairs, but like the walls around the stairs. We were supposed to have the coving put up yesterday because I think in last week's vlog I told you guys about the fancy pants coving. That has now arrived. We're waiting for the ceiling roses to arrive, so I've got two coming for the lounge, because the lounge is like, well, you guys have seen the lounge, it's quite long and big, but we have like the dining area and then the loungy area. So I've got two ceiling roses coming for there and then one bigger one for like the ceiling above the stairway. So that's the plan of action for today. We're going to paint that area and then the coving is going to be done actually later on this week, because really we need to paint first and we're a bit behind because I couldn't make a decision on paint, which I'm going to show you guys in a moment. So this is probably why I couldn't make a decision on paint, because this is my process. I like to swatch a lot of swatches so that I can find the exact one. These, for anyone that's obviously followed me on my personal account, I started swatching these last year. I think it was in November, December I started swatching those. But as you can see, we're actually going for more of a neutral theme, particularly this kind of area here. So I have swatched all over the place. Literally, we've got some over here as well. Swatches everywhere, but I have finally made a decision and it's down here. Here we go. We're gonna give this a try. It's little green paint and I've gone for the colour Rolling Fog. It's very, very nice. So I'm gonna start painting like around the door frames and around the bottom bits here, like the above the skirting board. And Simon, is currently up there painting the ceiling. Right, first coat is done. I have literally just started doing the second coat over here in this corner, which you can see, and then I just realised that I had to show you guys what the first coat looks like. So we've literally just got a tiny bit of patchiness here, but that is where Simon has done some filling, so that kind of explains that. But it is a million times better than the experience that we had with the Farrow and Ball paint. It goes on like a dream. It's not quite as dreamy as Valspar, but obviously this is an eco-friendly paint, so the formula will be a little bit different. But the colour is beautiful. Again, another little bit of patchy over there because there's more filler there. But yeah, it's really, really nice to apply. We've used a brush and a roller. So I'm just going to do the second coat now, and then we'll be ready for the fancy pants coving and the ceiling rose, and that's going to happen later on this week. Hello and good morning everyone. It is now Wednesday. We're motoring on through the week. Today we have out here, beep, beep, beep. We have obviously finished, we did two coats yesterday of Rolling Fog. It's glamorous, isn't it? On the walls, and that has dried beautifully. Two coats was all we needed. Absolute perfection, way better than a certain F and B. So yeah, that's all done and dried, and today the guys are coming to fit the coving. We would have had a crack at that ourselves. In fact, we were more than happy to do it ourselves. However, because of the height out there, it would have been a little bit tricky logistically with the equipment that we have. So they offered while they were here, we'll come and do it for you and we'll fit the ceiling rose as well. So all things that we're capable of, but just because of the sheer height of that area, they're gonna do it. So that's great, and that's something that's being done today. In other news, this is a decision which has probably proven to be the most difficult decision of this entire process, and it is what colour to paint the doors. And also, I did a little thing on my Instagram stories yesterday, but potentially whether to paint some or all of the banister or balustrade, whatever you want to call it, railings, who knows. So I'm going to tell you guys my options, just in case you don't follow me on Instagram, which you should. Right, so we have 1, 2, 3 doors to consider in this space. They're pretty much the only doors in the house bar the front door. So the options are, get ready for this guys, to paint, these are all going to need repainting FYI just because it's so old, and once you start painting one thing everything else needs painting. So to paint the frames white and the doors also white, that would apply to all of them because all the doors and the frames have to be the same, otherwise I will not sleep at night. Option number 2 is to paint frames white, doors black, and then out here the rail black. You could paint the rail, you could paint the post, you could paint the whole thing black. I think the whole thing might be a little bit too much, but I don't know. Because obviously out here, as you can see, it's a really high space and this colour is a lot darker than the white that we used to have out here. Although on a nice day like today, it's a really nice colour. And obviously we don't have the light on, but it is a lot darker. So I'm just worried about adding an even darker colour on here. I think maybe just the rails is what I'll start off with and then see how I feel. But yeah, we have no natural light from any kind of windows. We literally just have the bathroom and the 2 bedrooms to rely on for natural light coming through the doorways. So we are very much an open door kind of house. So all the doors pretty much remain open all the time, bar the bathroom door when it's number 2 time, because that really does need to be closed. But aside from that, doors are normally open. So those are my options. Very much bored of all white everything, having lived in an all white house for like 8 years. So I want to mix it up, but I'm also scared. So please help. Thank you. Goodbye. Hello. What day is it? Thursday. We'll show you guys the Coving. Oh, they've seen a cat. BRB, I'm gonna let the dogs out. Yeah, so as I was saying, we are fiddling with lights. And as you can also see, we have done paint layer number 1 only up to there because we obviously have a lot of mess all over the floor. So we've done a good amount. We're getting one half done, the dining half, which is the most important half. So I went out to Ikea this morning, got 2 lights. This one, which is massive, and a similar one. So we're just debating if this one is too big. We've got a black round dining table for there, and then the new piece of custom doggy furniture is going over there. So we're just seeing. I don't know, I think that might be too big, I don't know. And then this is option number 2. It's got some Swedish name that I can't remember as per usual. Simon thinks this one will block out too much light because underneath it's like this bit here is more solid.
And plus the bulb's right in there.
And plus the bulb is right in there. But it's just a better size though. But yeah, I'm not sure on that one either. And that's a bit of a faff because we'd have to change the cable on that because I'm not having a white cable. That's faux show. Alright, all right, okay, yes boss. And I said I was going to show you guys the coving in the hallway. It's getting a bit late in the day, so it is going quite dark, but ta-da! You can see it's beautiful. I'm so glad we went for like the big grand coving. Like it's massive, but because we've got such a high ceiling in this area, you can just go big and bold. And then we've got the ceiling rose, which is the same as what we've got over yonder in the spare bedroom, just a massive version. And then we've decided, huh? Where did you put the bulb that you wanted to try on that light? Oh, it's downstairs in a box on the shelf unit thing. We kept the same light fixture as before. That's really old from Marks and Spencer's, but we have bought cooler bulbs because let me just turn on the light and you'll see how it's quite orangey. Excuse the fact that some of the bulbs have gone, but as you can see, well, once the camera adjusts to the light, it's quite a warm light. So we've ordered some daylight bulbs. So we're going to test those and see. And then also ordered, these are like opaque glass balls found on Next. Have you brought it up?
You just ordered some different ones, yeah?
Is that not different? No, get out.
Is that the same to me?
Oh no.
They were meant to be clear, weren't they?
Oh, crumbs.
We couldn't make a decision on the lights, so I think we're going to leave it till tomorrow. We went out and done some shopping, and then I've done another coat of paint on that side of the lounge whilst Emma's been down there faffing around. How long does it take to make fajitas?
Huh?
How long does it take to make fajitas?
Well, you won't have any at this rate.
I've been doing it for like 2 hours.
Then come in.
Hurry up, I'm hungry. So, hopefully tomorrow we can crack on, get the stairs finished and do some more in the lounge.
Morning everyone, it is now Friday. We are on day 2 of the lounge. So yesterday we painted this half, which is like the dining area half. So up to where the TV sits on that, what is that called? Chimney breast. What is it called? So we've done this part, and as you can see we've been quite rough up on the coving because we've actually got new coving. We haven't ordered it yet. We've actually just requested some more samples from the same company that I keep buying from, which is WM Boyle. And we've requested some slightly bigger samples than what we already had because, a little bit of a random issue, but when the walls were replastered, that wasn't now, like in the process that we're doing, but basically the walls were replastered at some point and they were plastered up to the coving, so we can't take this coving on because it's actually laid into the plaster. So what we're going to do is get a bigger coving, a fancier one, and we're going to just pop that over the top. So that is a decision that needs to be made, but we're just waiting on some extra coving samples. Simon last night painted first coat on the radiator, which is the exact same paint that's on the walls. It's little Greene Invincible something something. I'll write all the details down below in the description box because I will not remember any of them. But basically there was a guy, I went to a different branch of Brewers, which is the decorating shop, if you like, that I bought the paint from, and he told me yesterday you can use it on wood, metal, everything, so you don't have to buy a separate paint. And it's very expensive, so this pleases me greatly that you can literally use it anywhere. So now Simon is sanding down the stairs. We're going to paint the stairs today, and, or not the actual stairs, but the railings, balustrade, and the like footboard. I want to call it skirting board, but I don't really know if it is a skirting board on stairs. Either way, we're doing that today. And then Simon's going to do a coat of undercoat on the doors, even though I still haven't decided what colour they're going to be. Good afternoon everyone. It is, sorry, let me just move the lens cap. It's now Saturday and I am, as you can see, painting the top of, I think this is technically called the balustrade. So it's basically the handrail and the 2 end posts, which we've removed the caps off. We're going to buy new ones. I'm painting them black. So I went this morning to B&Q and got a colour match for Farrow & Ball's Pitch Black, and there's something wrong with the paint, like it's not going on very well at all. It was really watery. We actually bought another like pure brilliant white paint from the same company, which is Valspar, which normally we love to do the gloss. I call it gloss, it's not gloss, we have an eggshell finish, but to do all the woodwork, because yesterday I managed to get so far and then we ran out of paint. And again, really watery, so I don't know if they've had like a formula change over the last week since we've been using this paint, because we've had the paint before and it's been fine. The paint I was using yesterday, the 2 tins that ran out, they were fine. But the 2 cans that I went out and bought this morning, terrible. So Simon just went off to Brewers for me and picked up a can of Little Green, and we've gone for Jack Black. So I'm going to start using that and doing, I used the Valspar one this morning on here and that's kind of acted as like a dark base coat. So now I'm going to start with the Little Green one and hopefully that will come out black and not watery. Good evening everyone. It is now, I reckon, about 5:15. And we've got changed. We are calling it a day for today because if you remember earlier when I was whinging about the Valspar paint, as it turns out, it's not the Valspar paint that's dodgy, it's the fact that I bought the wrong paint.
The purchaser.
It is, it's the purchaser that is the problem, and I was so angry at myself all afternoon for buying the wrong paint because I just kept moaning about it and I just kept using it, and Simon used it downstairs. Basically, a tip for you guys, if you're buying paint, just treble check the label, because what we'd used before was Valspar, Trade, Eggshell Finish, Perfect White or Pure Brilliant White, whatever you want to call it, interior wood paint. And what I bought this morning from B&Q was interior and exterior, and that made such a massive difference to the paint. Like, it was horrible paint to use, but obviously if you were using it outside, it's probably great paint. So we're having... Huh? He's saying it doesn't matter. It really does matter though, and I'm so angry at myself for making such an error. Anyway, this paint, the downside, or one of the many downsides of this paint, is that it takes 16 hours to dry, not like 2 to 4 hours like the other paint. So we're having to wait for that to dry before we can go over it with the correct paint, which I've been down to B&Q and bought. But, oh, look at, it's like velvet, actual velvet. So yeah, on the plus side, look at this. Ooh, matchy as well. So we need to get some end things for here. I think they're called, what are they called? I think they're called Newell end caps or something like that. So we're going to get two for here. We've taken the old chrome ones off. So we get one for there, one for up there. But yes, that is almost finished bar this section here, because I made an error and I painted some of this area here with that horrible paint that I was just talking about. So now I can't do the black, and I did the same down here. So we're having to wait until tomorrow when I can finish this off. But all of this has had 2 coats and a dark undercoat, and it is looking beautiful. What do you think?
It looks good.
Yeah, I agree.
I really like that little green paint.
Yeah, I love the little green paint. For now, decided to keep the doors white because eventually we will get round to doing the bathroom. But for now, we are obviously not doing the bathroom, but that will need a new door. So we're leaving all the doors white for a minute, just so that obviously they'll all be matching. So eventually they may well all turn black. It is highly likely. Hello and good afternoon everyone. It is around about 5 PM. We have been working since 8 this morning. I actually had a bit of a lie-in. I slept until 7:30, which is very unlike me. I'm normally up at 6 AM every single day. I'm such a morning person. But this morning I slept till 7:30, so clearly all this work is starting to have an effect on me, and I am getting a little bit tired. But we've been working since 8. We have cracked on. We've had quite a productive day, but we've still got a few hours left. I'm going to show you guys in a minute what I've managed to achieve thus far on the banister, stairway, whatever you want to call it. I've taken off all the tape now. I've done all the touch-ups. So basically I just need to get the end caps for the 2 like big corner posts, and then paint those, stick them on, paint those, and then the stairway is, I think, done. We've got to put up some pictures, but essentially the stairway is done. Hallelujah. However, in the lounge, I'm going to show you guys in a minute. I'm going to give you, in fact, can I pan around a little bit now? This might be a bit juddery. Yeah, look at that. We're looking in a state of disarray at the moment. But Simon has been painting down here while I've been on the stairs doing the banister. He's pretty much painted the entire lounge, apart from this section, because we did that the other day. But I don't know if you can see right over there by the door in the corner, ran out of the darker colour paint, and it's a Sunday, so the place is going to be closed now. So I'm going to have to go and get that first thing tomorrow. But yeah, really productive day and happy with the progress that we have made. Ta-da! So as I was just saying this morning, I've basically given both doors another coat of the white paint, so they're kind of just drying. We never actually have the doors even remotely closed in this house. All of our doors are always kept open because it's just me and Simon and the 5 babies obviously. But yeah, for a minute I'm just keeping them closed just so that we can keep any of the dust and stuff, because Simon's been sanding out of those bedrooms. Haven't closed them properly because they are still a little bit wet. But I've taken all the tape off the banister. That is looking delightful. I had a little issue up here. I've patched it up now. But I did have a little issue up here where I bent over the rail to paint something over there, and the zipper, this, on my overalls scratched this, and a massive chunk of it came off, and I was like, oh my God. So this is clearly not the most practical banister in the world, and it's definitely going to be a look but don't touch banister, but I'm so happy with how it's turned out. I think it looks really nice in this space, and then once we got our black frames up on the walls, it'll all tie in nicely. And then the progress that we've made in the lounge, so all of these bits here have been painted all behind the TV, and then over this side, obviously we ran out of paint, so this needs another coat anyway, and we need to finish this tiny little section here, so that obviously is still to be done, but we'll get that finished tomorrow. But this is all looking good, and this has all had 2 coats. I just need to do 1 more coat on the skirting board, and then that is good. Then here you might be able to see, I'm going to zoom in, but I have been drawing on this boxing in around the fireplace, and I am going to have a little project to do over there. I'm going to have a little play around with it, because if you follow my home account over on Instagram, you'll have seen that I was talking about reinstating a fireplace over here. I'm not going to dive too much into this because this is a really big project, but if you tune in next week, you will find out all the info of the plan I have for this area. So there we go, folks. You're all up to speed on what's going on in the renovation. I'm going to leave you guys here for this week because I feel like it's been quite a heavy week of stuff going on, but of course we will be back next Wednesday with the next instalment of what is happening. And also, as I've said numerous times, and I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, but we do update the home account a lot more often and a lot more sort of real time and up to date than obviously the vlogs, because they're just once a week. So if you want to see what's going on, then check out my home account, or our home account, over on Instagram. It's down below if you need the handle. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and thank you for all your suggestions and tips and things that you're leaving in comments and like DMs and stuff over on Instagram. They are greatly appreciated. You guys come up with some of the best ideas, so keep those coming. We'll see you next week.